They tried to blacklist me in the industry. One email exposed their lies. The day I was fired, my boss leaned back in his chair, smiled that smug smile, and said, "Good luck finding work, Ethan. This industry is small, and I'll make sure no one hires you again." At first, I thought it was just a cruel parting shot. But within weeks, I realized he meant it. Job offers vanished, interviews went cold, and whispers followed me everywhere. For months, I thought I was finished. But then, a single overlooked email surfaced, and it turned everything upside down. Before I tell you how that email saved me, subscribe to Lawful Payback and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. My name is Ethan Morales, 39, from Dallas, Texas. I spent 15 years as a project manager in the construction industry. Hospitals, schools, office towers, I had coordinated them all. I wasn't flashy, but I was reliable. Crews trusted me, clients respected me, and I had a reputation as the guy who got projects finished on time and within budget. My boss, Mr. Collier, ran one of the biggest firms in the state. He was smart, but ruthless. Loyal to him. You were safe. Question him. You were out. And I made the mistake of questioning him. It started with a contract. He was substituting cheaper materials than what was promised. I pulled him aside and said, "Collier, this isn't up to code. If inspectors catch this, it'll blow back on us." He smiled coldly. "Ethan, you worry too much. Do your job." 2 weeks later, I was called into HR. "Performance issues," they said. "Terminated effective immediately." As I left, Collier smirked, "Good luck finding work, Ethan. I'll make sure you never set foot on another site." At first, I brushed it off. Construction is competitive, but surely my reputation would carry me. I applied everywhere. I interviewed with firms where I had contacts. Some hiring managers seemed eager. A couple hinted at offers. Then suddenly, silence. Calls not returned, emails ignored. At first, I thought it was bad luck. Then a friend in HR called me off the record. "Ethan, listen. Collier's been talking. He told people you left projects unfinished, that you're unreliable." Word spreading. I felt sick. The man cutting corners was him, but I was the one branded untrustworthy. Bills started piling up. My wife Emily worked part-time at a dental office. Her paycheck barely covered groceries. I drained my savings. We sold my truck. We canceled every non-essential. I sat at the kitchen table each night staring at job boards, sending out applications into silence. One night Emily whispered, "Ethan, did he really blacklist you?" I didn't want to admit it, but the truth was staring me in the face. The lowest moment came when I applied for a small job, assistant project manager at a mid-size firm. Way below my experience, but I was desperate. The hiring manager seemed impressed. We talked numbers. I left feeling hopeful for the first time in months. 2 days later, "We regret to inform you." I called the hiring manager. No answer. Later, a buddy told me he overheard Collier at a trade conference bragging, "Morales won't get hired by anyone who matters." I've made sure of that. I wanted to punch something. Instead, I sat in my car, staring at the steering wheel, feeling like my career, 15 years of work, had just been erased. Debt collectors called daily. We fell behind on rent. My daughter asked if we had to move. I told her no, but I wasn't sure. Nights were the hardest. I would hear Emily crying quietly in the bathroom, trying to hide it from me and our daughter. The sound of her muffled sobs tore me apart. Our little girl stopped asking about vacations or new shoes. She just looked at me with worried eyes, as if she knew I was carrying something heavy I couldn't put down. I started to question myself. Maybe I wasn't as good as I thought. Maybe Collier was right, maybe my career was over. But then, one night while digging through an old backup drive of work emails, I found something that made my heart race. It was an email thread between Collier and a competitor's HR director. Collier had written, Just a heads up, don't bring Morales on. He's unreliable, leaves projects a mess. Hiring him will cost you. The HR director had replied, thanks for the warning. My hands shook. This wasn't rumor. This was proof. The next morning, I printed the chain and drove to the office of Rachel Kim, an employment attorney recommended by a friend. Rachel read the emails slowly, then looked at me. Ethan, this is solid evidence. This isn't gossip, this is defamation, in writing. And it's clear he's interfering with your ability to work. We can fight this. We filed suit for defamation and tortious interference. Collier's lawyers fired back immediately. They mocked me, disgruntled employee. Sour grapes. No real case. They buried us in motions and legal paperwork, trying to exhaust me. But Rachel kept pushing. She subpoenaed communications, fought every delay, and built our case piece by piece. For months, it felt like we were climbing a mountain blindfolded. But finally, after endless pretrial hearings, the judge set a trial date. The courthouse was buzzing. Industry people came just to watch. Everyone wanted to see if Collier, the untouchable, could actually lose. The defense attorney opened smooth and confident. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case of a bitter ex-employee. Mr. Morales wants to blame my client for his inability to find work. There's no evidence my client prevented anything. Then Rachel stood, calm but razor-sharp. This is not about bitterness. This is about lies. My client spent 15 years building a reputation that his boss destroyed in one sentence. And today, you'll see the proof with your own eyes. We called witnesses. Former co-workers testified, nervously at first, then more confidently. One said, Ethan's projects ran on time. Collier was the one cutting corners. Ethan got fired for refusing to stay quiet. I took the stand. Their lawyer grilled me. Mr. Morales, isn't it true companies passed on you because of your performance? I steadied my voice. No. They passed because my boss lied about me. The courtroom murmured. Finally, Rachel pulled out the email printouts. She handed them to the jury. Collier's words were right there, don't hire Morales. He's unreliable. The room erupted in whispers. The defense scrambled. Taken out of context. A casual email. The judge leaned forward. The words are plain. Overruled. Then Rachel went in for the kill. She read aloud Collier's bragging at the trade event, corroborated by 2 witnesses. The jury saw the pattern, a man with power, using it to destroy someone beneath him. Collier's smug mask cracked. He looked small, sweating, shifting in his chair. The jury deliberated for just over an hour. When they returned, the foreman stood. We find in favor of the plaintiff. The judge awarded me $35,000 in lost wages, $50,000 in damages, and ordered Collier's firm to send retraction letters to every company he had contacted. When the gavel fell, I exhaled for the first time in over a year. Emily squeezed my hand, crying openly. Outside, cameras flashed. Reporters swarmed. Collier stormed past them, face red, refusing to comment. Rachel leaned close and whispered, Ethan, this verdict is bigger than you. You showed every worker that even the powerful can be held accountable. The following week, I got a call from a mid-size firm. The HR director said, we received the retraction. We'd like to bring you in again. Walking back onto a construction site felt like reclaiming my soul. The check helped us catch up on bills, but the real victory was my reputation. My dignity. And the ripple effect was massive. Other employees Collier had mistreated came forward. Rachel's office was flooded with calls. Within 6 months, Collier's firm lost contracts. Clients didn't want to be associated with him. His empire started to crumble. At home, life felt normal again. Emily slept peacefully. My daughter laughed again, not worrying about money. Now, every time I drive past Collier's glittering office, I don't feel bitterness. I feel pride. Because I fought back. I refused to be silenced. And in the end, one email, just one careless line, destroyed the lies that nearly ruined me. So no, Collier didn't end my career. He ended his own. If you believe in fighting back when corporations think they're untouchable, subscribe to Lawful Payback. The next story will shock you even more.